we've got two focuses. We're going to look at the kind of wider context, the economic situation that we're all kind of feeling a bit stunned about. And that's obviously going to have quite big implications for our communities and our groups. So we've given quite a lot of time in the morning for people to think about that, and we've got some workshops to resource that. In the afternoon we're looking at the Scottish Transition Network, because it's had the benefit of funding for the last 2.5 years. That means that things have gone a certain way, and that funding is not secure. It may not continue past March, so we're giving people a chance to think about, well, how would they run things if it was going to be run by volunteers? Is there anyone here who might volunteer? We'll be asking. And then we've also got space for people to bring their own issues, whether that sort of deepens into what we've already been looking at, or whether those are just issues that people really want to share with their colleagues. Transition in Scotland today looks pretty exciting. It's definitely a growing movement, but it's also consolidating. I think at the beginning of the TSS project, the Transition Scotland Support, it certainly was very scattered. People were just starting. There were a lot of very new groups, and we've now got a situation where there are several groups that are really getting into their stride, becoming very active and effective in their communities, and we'll be hearing a bit about some of those things today. So I think a lot of what people are thinking about now is also sort of reaching out, and how do we show people that we mean business and that what we've got to say is important, as well as usual, people just getting on with the stuff that they really enjoy doing and having fun. Well, I guess we've just heard that the Climate Challenge Fund, the big kind of financial engine that's driven a lot of our projects over the last months and up to kind of 1.5 years, I guess, is going to be continued. So this is really sort of breaking news. It's only in the last 2 or 3 days. So that's, for a lot of groups, they're not having to think right away, how are we going to get money to continue doing what we're doing? But not everything that we do involves money, and there's always a challenge, I think, to get people who agree with what we're doing and who think it's great and who'll, you know, happily pat us on the back and say, you guys are doing a really good job, to actually join in. Because if we're not going to have finances, and maybe we are this year but probably not next year, then what we need are bodies. We need people who are going to put their heart and soul into this work. And I think that's always the challenge.